Thanks for joining us for the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Tasia Floissac. Coming up, we'll take you into World Blood Donor Day at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The Alpha Center celebrates 40 years of existence, and Junior Achievement Dominica continues to play a key role in student development. Stay tuned for these and other stories after the break.
The black Sikatuka fungus can survive on banana and plantain leaves even after they have been cut from the tree. Farmers and hucksters are encouraged to use alternate cushioning material when moving produce from farm to the market. Do not use banana and plantain leaves as cushioning. It is against the law to move banana and plantain trash from the field. Obey the law and stop the spread of black Sikatuka today.
Thanks for staying with us. Dominica's Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, has commended the government of Japan for its contribution to Dominica's development. The Dominica leader made the remarks as he addressed a ceremony on Thursday where he signed an agreement with Japan for the provision of grant funds of $1 million.
Over several years, Japan has been at the forefront of our own economic and social advancement in Dominica for the construction of many important infrastructure in the country, all of which continue to play an important role in our economic and social advancement. So Japan has been and continues to be that kind of friend who we could always rely on in time of need and in time of disaster. And I want you to be rest assured, Ambassador, that Dominica will continue to stand in solidarity with Japan on many important cultural and national issues of concern to the Japanese people.
The government of Japan has also contributed to the development of several countries within CARICOM over 2 decades. The first Japan CARICOM consultation was held in 1993. Give blood for those who give life. That was the message on Friday morning at the blood bank of the Princess Margaret Hospital, PMH, the only such institution on the island. The hospital's lab supervisor, Nurse Katharina Gemot, opened the ceremony with remarks to the effect that donors are heroes. Dr. Bianca Roberts is a resident obstetrician gynecologist. She described the relationship between her work and the blood bank as intimate.
From the time mothers come to our clinics to book, they are asked to get a blood group, a blood test, and to find out if their hemoglobin is a normal level, if their blood is clotting properly, if they have something like sickle cell, for example, which we have to know so that we know how to treat them later in their pregnancy. Why is it important to know all of that? And it's important because later on in the pregnancy, the demand for blood becomes essential. Now, we have about 5 liters of blood in our bodies. And if we think about 5 liters, that's not much. And at a normal delivery, a woman can lose 500 mils. At a cesarean section, she can lose up to 1 liter. Now, that is normal standards. Usually they lose less, but there are those who lose that and more.
One mother, Leandra Savre, shared her experience with the blood bank.
In 2009, I had a miscarriage, unfortunately, and I lost a lot of blood. Plenty, in fact, that I was basically white. But thanks to the blood donors, I had to get 2 blood transfusions. And I am here today. And now, in 2012, I had a premature baby, 10 weeks. And he got complications while he was in nursery. And he had to get platelets and blood transfusion. So I want to say thank you to the blood bank for your unselfish. They were just there to just, they're always there. We always receive the blood, the platelets on time to save our lives.
According to Princess Margaret Hospital staff, the work of the blood bank is indispensable to medical services in Dominica. Blood Bank Director Ninik Peer explained that tourism is affected by the medical services available on the island. World Blood Donor Day is merely a day to recognize and encourage donors. However, new donors are always welcome.
Please donate blood because you will save a life, and you'll save a life like mine. That I'm here today as a nurse to contribute to the health and well-being of Dominicans. Today I am here also representing the Dominican Nurses Association. I'm the president. If I was not alive, I would not be that. So indeed the blood bank has contributed to me being here. So please, and I am really grateful that I myself can say that I have been a donor. I donated for others and I donated for myself. So I can testify that donating blood really saved lives. And it did, it saved my life. Over 10 years ago, I went for surgery and the unforeseen happened. And thank God for donors who had already contributed. So the significance of having voluntary donors is very, very important because this blood was already there to save my life in the evening. And then other donors came in and contributed, hence the reason why I'm alive here today.
And in more news, the Alpha Center celebrates 40 years of improving the lives of children with disabilities. GIS's Kerdisha St. Louis visited the center this week and files this report.
A special school for children with intellectual disabilities. This has been the slogan of the Alpha Center for over 30 years. The school, which first opened its doors in 1974, in a small room at the Goodwill Parish Hall with only 6 students and 2 teachers, now boasts of having 37 pupils. In an exclusive interview with GIS News, Annette John Charles Stedman, who has been the school's administrative assistant of 16 years, revealed that despite the Alpha Center's 4 decades of existence, it is still unknown by many people.
It has been there, and it's surprising to know so many people do not know of the Alpha Center and what we do.
The Alpha Center, which receives support from various local businesses such as Brizimart and Astafans, offers a holistic curriculum of academics, all geared at improving the lives of children with disabilities.
We take care of our children. Our children are Dominican children. It's a school for children with mental disabilities, and we have programs for them. We have a woodwork project, which is right at the back there. We do gardening, we do sewing.
The center, which was bestowed with the Services Medal of Honor for meritorious service in 2004, teaches its students valuable life skills.
Our children learn to recognize all the letters of their names. There are some who will not be able to tell you to write it, but we teach them. So if they live here and you show the child will know that's my name. Very important. They learn to cook, but they do maths, basic English. We have moral education.
To commemorate 40 years of service, the center will host a week of activities which John Charles Stedman encouraged members of the public to come out in large numbers to show their support to Dominica's mentally disabled children.
We are starting, as I said, on the 22nd with a mass at 9 o'clock at the St. Alphonsus Roman Catholic Church in Goodwill. And then we are having the official opening on the 22nd. And then we are also having a day, an open day for the parents and our exhibition, and we are inviting everybody to come and see the work of our children, the handiwork, because Alpha Center children can work. Our children are able, and we want people to learn to respect our children.
In March, following a visit to the Alpha Center, the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit pledged the DLP administration's cooperation in the covering of the operating costs of the center. Kerdisha St. Louis reporting for GIS News.
Thanks, Kerdisha, for that report. Community health nurse for the North, Junie Brewster, was speaking in Cottage on Wednesday evening when she described the effects of chikungunya on various sectors. The Cottage area is, at this time, celebrating the Feast of St. Anthony, and a part of those activities was a panel discussion. Nurse Brewster first started with the effect of the mosquito-borne illness on the family.
Because of the severe pains that we have, we are not even able to brush our teeth. That's one of the simplest things that we do at home. We'd find that we are not able to do it. We cannot have a bath. We have to get assistance from someone to have a bath because of the debilitating disease, because of the pain that we have. Now, because of all that pain, we are working, we are not able to go to work. So think of a mother, a breadwinner who may be the only breadwinner at home and has to be away from work. It's a daily paid worker, has to be away from work sometimes, maybe 4 days, because she or he is in so much pain and cannot go to work, the impact that is going to have.
Then in the workplace.
Because of the number of work days lost, it impacts on productivity at work. So every department, be it private sector, public sector, are going to, and we are actually seeing it. People are having sick days, many sick days, sometimes up to 10 sick days. Because of that, obviously, it's going to impact on productivity, and that in itself is going to impact on the economic condition of the country.
The growing demand on the social security system as a result of the illness is also a challenge.
Because of the sick leave again, social security, the number of persons who are actually applying for benefits, this is going to impact on all of us. Because at the end of the day, when the funds, social security funds are depleted, our gratuity are going to be affected, right? So even if we cannot see it now, for some of us, we're going to see it down the road if we do not stop the spread of that disease.
The debilitating effect of chikungunya also negatively impacts students' education and tourism. This is why the call is perpetually sounded to residents to eliminate the breeding places of the vector, the Aedes aegypti, and to minimize the risk of being bitten. We'll bring you more in a subsequent newscast. And in other news, Junior Achievement GIS Dominica, an affiliate of Junior Achievement Worldwide, continues its efforts to introduce students to the real world of business. With that motive, Executive Director Tasia Labad announced that GIS Dominica will be hosting a summer program which will include a Make Something to Sell initiative.
There's also the Make Something to Sell initiative that we're doing this summer that these club or groups are also able to take part in, and there are a number of prizes that will be available, up for grabs, and that's another opportunity to get funding to go towards their concepts. But also an interesting part of the Make Something to Sell initiative, which is basically an initiative where young persons can test, run, manufacture and something that they can sell, and this is done in collaboration with the Dominican Manufacturers Association. There is the Innovation Prize, there is the Sustainable Business Prize, there's the Environmental Business. There are a number of categories, all come with cash prizes, but also there's the opportunity to be judged based on your concept.
Labad added that the organization will launch a national leg of the GIS companies called the National Challenge. This endeavor, held as an official Junior Achievement Day, will bring together all companies to select a national company.
I think this is a unique opportunity for young persons to be able to try out something that they've never done before in the safety of the classroom, with the support of a non-profit organization who has really at front and center our mission really is to empower young persons to own their economic success. And economic success means that these companies should lead to actual cash and finances.
She says that the St. Martin's Primary is one of the institutions leading the way in economic success with their business concept dubbed Islands Pleasures. According to Labad, the students with their smoothie on a stick concept have a better understanding of the skills required for working in a global economy and have raised on average $800 a month for their school. The executive director provided insight on a new initiative of the GIS summer program dubbed the Cool Crew.
There's a Cool Crew summer program, and that's something that's really the kids at the primary school levels are extremely excited about. The Cool Crew. We have our mascots. We're going to launch a GIS mascot called the Cash Whiz, and the objective of Mr. Wiz is really to talk to young persons about financial literacy, saving, the concept of needs and wants, and buying something today as opposed to buying it tomorrow, and the value of $1 today as opposed to the value of $1 tomorrow. And that Cool Crew is going to be something that even me, even me wish I could be, you know, younger. So I could be part of Hooker, have an excuse to run around and be free. But the summer program is something to watch for.
Yi Loy Labada expressed the need to see greater numbers of high school students getting involved in JA activities.
I want to encourage students to come down to the Junior Achievement Office or ask at their schools, you know, how can I be part of a Junior Achievement Club? How can I form an entrepreneurship club? I know there's an entrepreneurship club at the State College, and we have a few, you know, clubs, JA clubs at the high schools. But I would like to see more high schools get involved in the JA company program, because this is an opportunity to learn what a president does, how to have a board meeting, the protocol of having a board meeting. There's so many learning opportunities. JA forces our students to go out there, face the media. It forces our students to think about being sustainable and responsible. So for example, if we're manufacturing something and we're affecting the neighbor next door, and that neighbor comes in and says, hey, who's responsible for that? Well, everybody should be pointing to the VP of Public Relations. And I think it's a fantastic opportunity for young persons to get prepared for work life with skills that will really matter.
Kerdisha St. Louis is up next with a recap of the week's headline stories.
Welcome to this week's edition of Flashback. In the headlines this week, EC $103 million was made available to Dominica in grant fund and concessionary loans by the World Bank for resilience against climate change. Government's geothermal energy pursuits continued this week with a flow test at a production well in Loda. The Dominica Police Force implemented the Points to Prove Handbook, a police operational handbook. The villages of Grande and Saint-Sauveur celebrated the feast of Saint Isidore, the patron saint of laborers and farmers this year, in a big way, with music, song, and dance characterizing this year's celebration. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit appealed to nationals to take action to protect their lives and property in the event of a hurricane or storm, as weather forecasters predict a below normal Atlantic hurricane season this year. Also this week, Minister for the Environment Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru says small island developing states like Dominica are extremely vulnerable to the developing global crisis and should continue to keep a keen eye on these developments. Junior Achievement Dominica has launched its second annual company challenge aimed at introducing participants to the real world of business. A delegation from Hangzhou, China paid a 3-day visit to Dominica to discuss the twinning of the cities of Roseau and Hangzhou. While there, the delegation signed a memorandum of understanding with the mayor of the city of Roseau. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and Ambassador of Japan to Dominica, His Excellency Yoshimasa Tezuka, signed a US $1 million agreement for an exchange of notes regarding Japan's grant aid for the provision of industrial products. The Dominica Reduction of Infant Mortality Committee presented the Ministry of Health with revised copies of Dominica's maternal child healthcare manuals during a sensitization session this week. Those were the headline stories which made the news this week. Back to you, Tasia.
Thanks, Kerdisha. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, en section qui a mis attention à la santé des enfants, qui apparaît en manuel que le ministre de la Santé lancé semaine là. Parole celle-là sorti Horde Family Nurse Practitioner, Vétéline Vigilant.
En l'autre section, nous avons regardé, c'est child care, avec les enfants qui sont à l'école, avec child abuse. Okay? Comment nous manager les enfants nous. So, nous avons moins d'enfants qui ni comment on dit ça? Nous que détecte les enfants à l'école avec yon ce rôle là comme moi avec l'autre family inspection qu'a fait, c'est school health. So là nous fait school health ça. Nous que garder ces enfants pour nous comment general health yo yi, comprendre santé yo yi. Avec si une personne qui besoin aller docteur Dan ou docteur Che ou docteur Zie, nous que point necessary step là comprendre.
Si l'on nos vigilant, yon le travail pour place pour formuler manuel cela.
Ça c'est à notre shell, ça nous a fait c'est on le travail à manuel ça. Il était jani yon qui a existé mais nous tenons pour review comprendre. Nous tapé assistance des consultants en région, yo vini avait aussi nous avons des room coordinator, comprendre? Avait un comité qui a gardé spécifiquement code manuel ça là. Son l'autre travail j'ai allé à ce programme matinal ça McPherson avec quand mon santé Minister of Health dit, ça c'est Mrs. Helroye. Si nous point considération ça qui Adam manuel ça nous fait ça nous pour faire then nous tout que nous que bénéfice.
En d'autres nouvelles, le ministre de l'Agriculture établit une task force pour adresser ces bagailles qui affectent les bananes et puis figues si le black cigar toka. Parole cela sorti au chef département quarantine, M. Ryan Ansem.
La stratégie ça regarder comment nous ca planter figues parce que ça monde ca planter figues tout partout en montagne en la rivière pour toute bagaille. So nous calé des monde nous pas ça faire ça quand nous ca faire ça avant parce que si vous regardez place qu'on la yo l'applicateur mais on pile nous pas ça contrôler black cigato en ces place ça là. So ça nous calé faire nous calé zone là nous ca planter figue avec plantain nous calé mener ça quoi qui est anglais resistant varieties ces varieties ça là qui ça combattre black cigato maladie a que aller yo mais que style ba on bon figue. So et ça nous les démon nous ni on draft strategy or strategic plan of action là nous pour mener tout le monde toutes ces stakeholders là nous ka taper en dehors FAO qui est Food and Agriculture Organization CADI AICA toujours là avec nous.
À la nouvelle, Dominique Bonchen et puis pays vont la terre en observance journée pour donation sang en bas thème Safe Blood for Saving Mothers. Département sang tient une petite cérémonie en l'occasion en l'hôpital Princess Margaret bon matin là pour mettre attention à ces manières comment sang important en la vie monde. Des mamans et puis yon qui bénéficient de votre programme là, one testimony comment yon te bien plaisir pour recevoir sang hors blood bank pendant le temps yon te malade. Parole aussi sorti de Dr. Bianca Roberts qui mentionnait l'importance monde qui a fait contribution sang parce que ça même qu'a aidé l'économie pays là parce que monde spécialement visiteurs qui a toujours voulu savoir si pays a ni l'occasion avant de sa visiter. Et aussi parler contre d'autres monde qui a bénéficié à ce programme là. Dr. Roberts aussi crié à ce public là pour faire donation sang pour blood bank. Département là aussi recogniser monde qui bat sang et puis crier à ces d'autres monde pour faire même bagaille. Et puis finalement, ministère Environ, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, qui a complimenté tous les stakeholders, ça c'est officier, qui assistent le gouvernement taper succès selon l'argent qui recevait votre banque la terre pour combattre le changement climatique. Honorable Darrow fait parole cela par la délégation banque la terre ici pour signer contrat et puis gouvernement semaine cela.
Donc c'est un gros achievement pour même. Et bien, je voudrais remercier tous ces staff, ministres, c'est l'autre ministre du gouvernement qui aide nous pour arriver à ce point-là. Et bien, je espère un low excitement pour voir ces projets commencer à installer. Comme on a parlé, $5 million dans le treasury nous. Pour ça, c'est pour un projet avancé, pour préparer tous ces documents, pour faire ces joins là, estimer c'est bien ça là.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Bon week-end. Au revoir.
There are other ways to get rid of house pests such as cockroaches and ants besides the use of chemicals. Coming up are a few examples.
What's for dinner?
I know, but you want Cheryl.
Who? Cheryl? Oh, babes, that's nothing.
Nothing within there, but that is nothing.
Hon,
Ah,
come on.
whatever.
You know you're my number
And she's number what, 10? Plenty plenty married women getting AIDS from the husband these days. I don't want to be one of them. From now on, I'm looking out for me.
But babes, I only talk to the woman.
Until I'm certain, this will take care of both of us, if you're lucky.
Your family depends on you. Don't take home AIDS.
In-studio discussions, insight, Creole News, Road to the Throne, Calypso, Creole Festival, Carnival, and lots more local programming. See it all on the Government Information Service, your first for local news.
To get rid of cockroaches, fill a bottle with soapy water and spray them instead of chemical pesticides. You can also place bay leaves around the house, which will drive both cockroaches and flies away. Getting rid of ants can be just as easy. Apart from keeping your counter clean and crumb-free, you can also avoid ants getting into sugar bowls and areas of the house by leaving a few tea bags of mint tea near areas where the ants seem most active. Many ants also have a natural aversion to cucumber and clove. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire GIS News production team, I'm Tasia Floissac. Have a wonderful weekend.